Hello Subnautica and welcome to my friends. Today we're playing a arguably mini DLC sized mod called Remnants of Life that adds a ton of stuff, including a new biome, 4 items, foods, water, Precursor Bases, Degasi Bases, and more stuff to be found. Now we're gonna take a look at some of the things you can find in this mod today, so let's just jump right into it. Now this mod was uploaded by Buddy I Love You 12, massive shout out, and all of this was made without coding. So clearly, there's a lot you can do with this game even if you don't know how to code. Now, first things first, we now have some new resources. Say I wanted to build me a habitat builder, for example. You can now notice it requires magnesium. 4 new resources can be found, and these are then used later in the game for different advanced recipes. For instance, you can see that the Neptune rocket boosters now require mercury ore and magnesium. Ignore the big fish. If I'm not mistaken, a bunch of these resources should now be sort of scattered around the map. Yeah, you can see, for example, here we can pick up some mercury ore. Now, these new materials can then be used to craft some new things. For example, you can see a bunch of new batteries here, such as the quantum battery, which also requires uranium, and looks like a heck of a chunky boy. Let's take a look at this thing. Yeah, now that is a battery. There's a bunch of other stuff you can craft too, but I don't want to spend too much on that. Let's instead talk about what's new to see here. First, let's talk about the Degasi. This crew of a ship that once crashed on this planet ended up building a bunch of habitats around the world. And this mod adds a couple more. Right here, we're past the ghost tree in the Lost River. And you can see there is in fact a broken down habitat, which once was supposed to belong to the crew of the Degasi. And I mean, just look at the set dressing here. This is actually really nice. I also love that this is just blocked by a boulder. Like, where do they come from, man? Ooh, a bunch of hung creatures. I like that dressing too. And overall, just a really nice addition here, even a floating first aid kit. Well, there is more, because over in the zone which shall not be named, that I definitely did not do any horrible things to recently, there is another broken down habitat. This time with a massive bush growing out of the planter, which that looks very good. Ooh, this looks like you might need the propulsion cannon to clear it. Okay, propulsion cannon might not have been the answer. I just made that rock very excited. Who's a happy rock? But yet again, that's not all. You see, this mod toys with the idea that other survivors might have had quite a good shot at surviving as well. And so there are a bunch of survivors bases to be found around the world as well. You can see this one is obviously nowhere near as overgrown, has all of the modern technology we would come to expect. And I mean, it is in the blood kelp zone. I can imagine a whole plethora of terrible things that could have caused this kind of damage. And another similar base can also be found by the Sea Treader's Path. So there is a ton to explore here, and the best thing is, we're still not done. See, because what this mod adds as well are a bunch of new Precursor Bases. Right in the dunes, a place I despise with all I have, there is a massive chunk of a Precursor base that was supposedly washed up during Aurora's crash. Over here we need a purple tablet. Good thing I picked one up earlier. It's a very interesting... Whoa! Oh my goodness, it's upside down. Now see, this is good stuff. Oh, this is disorienting. Okay, so this is, as far as I can tell, the same base structure as you can find in the gun, except it's upside down. I love that you can still navigate it, because technically the staircase, I mean the platforms will work even if they're upside down. Now, there is another one of these, which I'm not gonna spoil for you. But let's jump to what is probably the most exciting piece of this mod. If you get down here, to the very tip of the Aurora, you can't quite see it, but it's right there. There is a beacon down here, and in fact there are 2 beacons. And where these lead is a brand new biome, or an extension to the VOID, if you will. Fairly deep, for certain. I mean, you can navigate one of these cracks to sort of be safe from the ghost leviathans, I suppose. But you can already see some stuff emerging from the dark. These are the Void Steps, I believe, is what the biome is called. And look at that. I believe this is the lava zone material. I don't even know what this is. But it is certainly a pretty interesting place. And what's even more interesting about it is that it goes a lot deeper too. So this is the Ghost Tree in a smaller version. I freaking love this asset. It is so pretty. I believe I'm being charged by some ghost leviathans. But that's fine. Because look at this. It's a freaking massive ribcage of something huge. There's even a dead Reaper down here. Oh, hi, Ghosty. I'm not gonna lie, getting to this point won't be easy. The Ghost Leviathans will definitely make themselves known. But with a stasis rifle in the dream, it might just be possible. Now, I also believe there is a little something here, just off the edge. And I don't just mean the ghost body. Yo, it's like a piece of the Aurora or something. It just tore off, fell all the way into the void, which, you know, I really feel bad for any inhabitants at that point. And you can really see that this biome extends far. And here, this is where the fun begins. Look at this arm. You know, it surely must lead to something, right? Well, let me turn the fog off, and you will realize that it does, in fact, lead to a heck of a something. It leads to a massive Precursor base right here in the void. Now, of course, I have to take at least a little peek inside here. This base is freaking massive, by the way. You need a blue tablet to get through this door. Interesting. Whoa! Wow! And you got a bunch of crystal matrices here. And there is a teleporter here. Where does this go? It's kind of small, no? It leads to the floating island, I believe. Huh. Now that's interesting. Oh, and look at that. Taking the teleporter back just takes you to the mountain island. It doesn't take you back to the base. I think that's about all I want to show you from this mod. Go out there and give it a try yourself. I'm sure you can discover a lot of cool stuff. And what I like about it is that it doesn't attempt to change what Subnautica is. It just expands on the formula, adds a bunch more of the stuff that we already liked. And hey, who can complain about that? Once again, a massive shout out to eNotburger. The link to the mod is in the description, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. And if you did, maybe consider leaving a like, commenting, or subscribing. All of those would be very much appreciated. And with that, I'm going to wish you all a beautiful rest of the day, and I'll see you in whatever next video I make. Bye bye!